Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to start off with the stuff that I've gotten from Sephora thus far during the sale. And I say thus far because I've got some more orders on the way. So I did go ahead and get 2 more of the True Cream moisturizing balms. These are the large ones, the 3.3 fluid ounce tubs, and I think it's 3. I purchased one a couple weeks back because I did run out, but typically 3 will almost get me through to the next sale. Sorry, my voice it's a whole situation. I'm still trying to get rid of this cold. And then to top things off, I got a pinched nerve this morning when I was taking a shower. I kind of feel like I'm falling apart. But anyway, my voice is just kind of going like in and out or whatever, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about this product because it's something that I repurchased over and over and over again. It's my nightly coating over everything that I put on my face. I just put a big old glob over my face to sleep in, and I love this product. It's one of the best moisturizers that I have found for my dry, sensitive, acne-prone skin. It's just a really, really nice product. And again, like 3 tubs of this typically lasts me to the next sale. So I may get 1 more just because I did run out this last time, but just a really nice product from Belif. So I got 2 more of those guys. And then I was also really intrigued by this new Kosas Plump and Juicy Vegan Collagen Spray-On Serum. So it's a 3.38 fluid ounce spray bottle. I should mention too that the Belif is a Korean skincare brand, and this Kosas serum is made in the USA. So this is the box packaging. It was just really intriguing to me. They're like marketing it as a skincare product. So it says spray on vegan collagen and probiotic serum that fast tracks clean active ingredients into skin to hydrate, soothe, visibly firm, lift, and plump for your healthiest looking skin ever. So I was really intrigued because I wanted to try it as a setting spray, and I couldn't find a lot of information on people using it over makeup, like a setting spray or whatever. So that's how I've used it. I actually haven't used it in my skincare routine. I've only sprayed it over my face so far. And it does feel really nice on the skin. I haven't put it on today. I've kind of backed off of some of the newer products, which another one is a kind of a foundation-y product that I'll show you in a minute too, because I've been having a little bit of breakouts, and I don't actually think that it's some of the newer products that I've been using, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to go back to the drawing board and then kind of introduce them again to see. But because I've been kind of sick, under the weather, I think that's part of it. And then when I had a really bad sore throat, and then when I was on vacation, I ate a ridiculous amount of ice cream. So I'm kind of contributing it to that. And then I also got a cortisone shot in my neck I think 2 months ago or so or whatever, and I didn't know some of the side effects that you wouldn't think of getting from a cortisone shot. And I'm almost positive that I've gotten some random breakouts on my body and my face from that shot, because that's not the norm for me or whatever. It's this whole thing. Anyway, I don't think it's these products. This feels really wonderful on the skin over makeup. And it almost, I don't know how to kind of explain it. It melts your skin together, but it doesn't make it look oily or anything like that. I thought for sure, because I put 5 sprays on, that I was going to have to kind of go over in the T-zone area with powder from Shine, but I really didn't. Just maybe a little bit around my nose or whatever, but it wasn't major. So I really think this looks beautiful over makeup. It didn't disturb my makeup or anything like that. I will say that the sprayer is pretty strong, and a lot of product comes out per spritz. So when I'm not gonna do it right now, but I had to hold it quite a ways out, and then I kind of just tip my head back so it kind of falls a little bit better, so it's not like a super strong mist in the face, but it shoots out pretty strong. If you compare it to the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Mist, that is such a fine, delicate mist. It's even, but it's just stronger. So I'm still going to toy around with this with a setting powder and stuff like that. I kind of feel like I need to get my skin under control. It's not major. I don't even think you can see hardly any blemishes on my face. It's just been little surface spots, if you will, that little exfoliating pad, and then they break and go away or whatever. But they're just I don't know, it's annoying to me. So anyway, I did get this. I'll definitely keep you guys posted one way or another how it's going with it. But this is the new Kosas Plump and Juicy Vegan Collagen Spray on Serum right there. And I can say it is over makeup approved. Like, I wasn't sure if like my whole like foundation was going to slide off my face or not, but it didn't. It looked great. So, and then when I was in the Sephora store, I did smell the Killian Princess fragrance. And the bottle was empty, so I was just able to smell the nozzle of the perfume, and I thought it smelled like a really sweet, nice perfume. So I decided to order it when I got back. So this is the 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, the Eau de Parfum, and this is made in France. This is made in France. This is what the box looks like, and this is actually my first kind of Killian fragrance, and the bottle's really pretty. Again, it's a 1.7 fluid ounce, which I think is the biggest one. It's the biggest one that they had on Sephora anyway, and it is a nice, sweet to gourmand fragrance. It's not too warm where it gives me that more like sickeningly sweet smell, and it does smell really good. I'll keep it. It actually reminds me of an old kind of discontinued Britney Spears perfume that I used to wear constantly. And then there's just something a little bit about this that has a generic vibe to it. There's just, I don't know what exactly it is, but there's a string of it that reminds me of something like YSL Black Opium, or Victor and Rolf Bon Bon, or the Dior Poison Girl. Kind of some, it's not the same, but there's a little bit of a vibe in this that reminds me of some of those fragrances. But it lasts all day, and it does smell really good. I think that I've just gotten really used to some of those perfume houses that don't, I don't know how to explain it, like don't have that generic vibe. Probably a lot of the House of Sillage fragrances have a lot to do with that, because they're so unique and so like perfume oil loaded, you know, that kind of, I don't know if it throws me off a little bit with some other fragrances. I know that Killian is a pretty luxe fragrance brand, but this does again remind me of some of those a little bit more generic fragrances, but it does smell really good. It's one that I would use like for a daily wear. There are some House of Sillage fragrances that I just want to wear every day, but I like want to savor it because it smells so good. This one here, I wouldn't mind just spritzing it all over myself and going, because I don't, how do I say, I don't care if I'm going to use it up and use it up quickly, if that makes sense. So that's the Killian Princess fragrance right there. And then I had seen this brand Rice, R-I-E-S, and I was intrigued. They've got a couple different sizes of reusable like containers for product, and there's some products that are either in jars or that don't distribute as nicely as I would like. So I wanted to try this out for like a daily user as well. And then also I do like depot my skincare for when I travel, so I wanted to try it for that as well. So I got the reusable travel size in 1.7. This one says face. There's a couple 1.7 bottles, but they reference them as face or shampoo conditioner or something like that, but I don't know if there's a difference with the bottles. They looked the same to me, so I'm not sure. So it feels like a nice like sturdy container. Again, this is the brand right there. It says reusable and washable, leak proof and airtight, made using recycled materials, TSA compliant, safe for skin and hair, pre-labeled. So yeah, this one does have the face on there. And it's one of them airtight containers, and there's just some skincare products that I wish were in containers like this. The convenience of using them is really nice. So you just like put your product in there and then put the top back on, and it slides to open and close the product. So I haven't used it just yet because I haven't gone anywhere, and I did just get it, but I think I'm gonna put something in here that I use every day that's maybe in a jar or something like that, and see how it goes. But I thought that was a cool brand right there. So again, let's see where these are made real quick. It says responsibly manufactured in China. And then I also got the Lily Lashes Faux in the Mykonos Light. I had hauled the regular Mykonos a video or two ago. I ended up purchasing 2 pairs of those, and I really like those lashes, so I thought I would go ahead and try the light version. they're not in the box, because that is what I've got on my eyes today, and they're just a little bit more tamed down version of the original ones. I did take off 3 on the outside, and these ones are really curly and they don't kind of like wing out as much on the outer portion, but I still think that they look really pretty, and they're again a little bit more like a daily wear lash in comparison to the original Mykonos. So I really do like them. I love the Lily Lashes Full Mink lashes. They feel just really comfortable and they're just really nice eyelashes. So I did get these guys right here, and those are what I have on my eyes today as well. And these are made in the PRC is what it says on the packaging. And I do like to keep the little box when I take them off and put them back in there. It just kind of helps to keep the band nice. That other kind of skincare product that I was talking about is from Supergoop, and it's the CC Screen 100% Mineral CC Cream. It's an SPF of 50, and it's a 1.6 fluid ounce squeezy tube, and I got the shade 110C. And this guy here is made, where are you made at? I'm not really seeing like a made in, I'm just seeing distributed by Taylor James LLC in Texas. That's interesting. It doesn't say made in on the packaging, but anyway, it's this guy right here. And I had seen Teresa's Dead here on YouTube recommend this in her Sephora video that she did, and I thought I would give it a try because you guys know I'm big on SPF and I really do like the mineral SPFs. So I got it, and I originally thought that this was going to be too deep for me, so I'll put a little, this is what the squeezy tube looks like. Love the packaging. This is just such a easy to use style of packaging for product. So I'll put a little dot on the back of my hand, and like I thought for sure that was gonna like oxidize or get a little bit deep and look too dark for me, but then I put it on and I started blending it out, and it actually kind of lightened up on my skin. And I used a beauty blender to kind of dab it on, and it looked nice. It's got a light coverage to it. This is that other product, and I wasn't sure was, you know, messing with the acne or whatever, so I haven't used it for a couple of days or whatever. I can't attest to that this is it. I honestly think it's the ice cream and the sickness. And then also that cortisone shot that I got in my neck. But anyway, it feels really nice on the skin. It's a light coverage. This one has a nice kind of pink undertone. It matches me really well, actually. But I did notice one thing that I do know about it in comparison to like the No. 7 or even the Dr. Jart BB is my skin felt a little bit tight, a little bit dry. So then I had a little bit more like oil wanting to come through because it felt dry. And maybe it will be one that I'll more so like in the summertime as opposed to kind of going into the wintertime. Like I think next week, the lows one night is in the negatives, and I'm just like, no, I just don't want it, you know? So, I still got to play around with this one. I don't like that kind of tight feeling that this makes my skin feel like. And I compare everything to the No. 7 foundation, which is, again, what I have got on my skin today. And I really like the Dr. Jart as well. But the No. 7 is so nice and long wearing. This one isn't quite as long wearing, and neither is the Dr. Jart compared to the No. 7. But again, it feels nice on the skin. It's got a lovely SPF. So it almost has a little bit of a glow to it, which you would think would make your skin feel like more hydrating because of that. It's not like visible shimmer or sparkle or anything like that, but again, my skin did feel tight the times that I had used this, so we'll still play around with it and see how it goes. Again, mineral SPF 50, so you kind of can't go wrong right there. Anyway, that's the Supergoop CC Screen 100% mineral CC cream in 110C right there. And then I had to see what all the hype was about with the new Tower 28 Make Waves Mascara. So this is a 0.29 US fluid ounce tube. And this guy here, I'm also not seeing on the packaging where this is made either, but I'm almost certain, yeah, I'm pretty sure Tower 28 products are made in the US. What the heck? That's 2 products now that it doesn't say made in. Some like rules changed or something that I don't know about. Maybe I just can't see. But it's this guy right here, and I do have this mascara on today as well, and I've worn it a couple times, and the mascara is a more dry formula. it really does a nice job of thickening and lengthening the lashes and separating as well, because the brush on here is it's a rubber or plastic brush, and it's very, very firm, so it just really separates out the lashes. And I like that about this brush. That's what it was missing. That's what, to me, what's missing from the Maybelline Sky High, which is my favorite mascara. But it's flakes on me. I've wiped off 2 flakes today already underneath my eyes, and it could be because it is a drier formula and we are going into kind of winter where I'm at. But flaking for me, I'm not about that life, especially when there's a drugstore version in the Maybelline Sky High that just does a really good job of making my lashes look voluminized and long, and it doesn't flake or smudge on me. So I do have to do about 3 coats of this mascara to get the same amount of volume and length that I get from 2 coats of the Maybelline Sky High. So really nice mascara. It does a beautiful job of making your lashes look nice. I would say the formula maybe is a little bit more matte in comparison to the Sky High from Maybelline. But for the price, I think this was 20 bucks, which still isn't bad for like a higher end mascara, but I can get 2 Maybellines for that amount of money and I don't have to deal with the flaking. So it is a nice mascara. I can see how people would really like it, but it still doesn't beat the Maybelline Sky High for me. So that's the new Tower 28 Make Waves mascara right there. I also got another one of the Gucci Cheeks and Eyes Powder Luminous Matte. I call them blushes. I've got plenty of eyeshadow that I don't need to use like an individual like blush style product on the eyes, but you can use them on the eyes, which is nice. So this is the Tender Apricot. This is the second Gucci blush that I've gotten, and I'm like holding back from wanting them all, but I think the 2 that I've gotten so far, there's a corally one though. I might go ahead and get that more like corally one yet, but this is the Tender Apricot in 02. It's the blush that I have on my cheeks today, and it's just beautiful. It's like a apricot-y, peachy color with a just the slightest golden luminosity to it. There's 0.19 ounces of product in this guy. And does it say where you're made? I know it does in here somewhere. Yeah, it's made in Italy. So this is the box packaging, and the actual packaging of the blush is gotta be the cutest, right? And again, what I've got on my cheeks today, and it's beautiful. I've worn this quite a few times in the past couple days. And it's just a really beautiful apricot-y blush. And the Gucci formula, these ones right here, are just so easy to use. They're so easy to apply, build up, blend out. They're just a really lovely blush product from Gucci. So that's the 02 Tender Apricot right there. And again, that's what I've got on my cheeks as well today. And then I wanted to try one of this new brand, Simihaze. And I got the Super Slick Lip Balm, and I don't know anything about the brand. I forgot I was going to like go to the website, not the Sephora one, but like the Simihaze, and try to find more information, but then I just didn't. But I got this lip balm, and I was very confused because I was like, did I get a free sample? Was this a point perk that I clicked or something, because it's so small? So there's 1 gram or 0.03 ounces of product in here. And this is the shade Sweet Super Slick Lip Balm. This is the packaging. This looks like a sample, and this was almost $30. And I don't understand. The balm is a pretty color. It gives the lips like this like little flush of pink. That's how much product is in here. It's ridiculous, okay? Just really ridiculous. So you can see how much lip balm there is. And it does feel nice on the lips, but what I noticed, because I put this in my pocket and wore it throughout 2 days, and I noticed that my lips didn't feel more nourished with this. I almost felt like it sat on top of my lips, which I wasn't crazy about. It looked pretty. I liked the tint. I liked the way that it felt, but I didn't feel like, again, my lips felt any benefit from it. So I wasn't crazy about that. Still not crazy about the size. The packaging is cute, but it's got this little clicky on it. It like clicks like that very lightly, and the cap actually came off in my pocket. I don't have very big pockets, like my pants pockets, you know, and it came off of there, and which really like weird. I'm trying to find like a piece of metal or something. This is magnetized. Like, if maybe that's part of the Simihaze branding, there's a mechanism or some way you're supposed to use these. I bet there is, and I should just look into it. But it's magnetized, so I can like set it on my, can you see what, let me pull this out and see if you can, like, it's magnetized. And I don't know why, because the cap isn't magnetized. It's a clip cap and it doesn't stay on very well. So I'm not crazy about this product. I'm not super, the packaging is cute, but it's not functional if the cap comes off. I'm not super crazy about the non-nourishing factor of the lip balm of this. And I'm definitely not crazy about the price and this little tiny itty bitty amount of product that you're getting. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Well, we'll move on. That's the Simihaze, what is it? Super Slick Lip Balm in the shade Sweet. Right there. And then I also picked up the 2 new Dior Backstage Eye Palettes. And I've got on 008 Khaki Neutrals on my eye today. And I've gotten, I think, every one. I do. I know I do. I've got every single one of the Dior Backstage eyeshadow palettes. And there's only one that was a real dud for me. The rest of them I've got along with pretty well. And these 2 new ones I've also got along with pretty well. So all of these palettes have got an eye primer in it that functions much like a concealer, which is this shade right here. And I have used those, but you do have to be careful with how much you use, because even when you put shadow over the top of it, it doesn't set super easily. So you almost get like this moisture shine from that primer. So today I do have on the CoverGirl NLA Simply Ageless foundation, which I love to use as an eyeshadow primer. It's like my go-to, as opposed to this, because again, it leaves that shine on there. Even when I use just a little bit, but it does make a nice like tacky primer though. So, and I have that drier eyelid, so I don't mind that, but I have to be mindful of how much I use, because again, I don't care for that like shine look, that the moisture shine look that it gives after I even put shadow over the top of it. Anyway, let's swatch these. So the only shade in here that's kind of like a topper, and it's a little drier, and it doesn't pack a super bunch of punch, but I do have it on the inner corner there. And with the rest of the shades all together as a whole, using it like that, it looks beautiful. Something that I really like about the Backstage palettes are they're effortless, and I used this terminology last week, but they're conservative color. Like, it's green eyeshadow, but it's not like boom in your face green eyeshadow, but it still looks really pretty. And that's how I feel about the look that's on my eyes today. I've got every shade on except for these 2 browner ones in the middle, and they just work really nice and look really like sophisticated and pretty, which is what I like about the Dior Backstage palettes in general. So I believe there's only one true matte in there, and that is that brown. Everything else has got like a bit of a sparkle to it. And these swatches are probably going to be like extra lackluster in comparison to a lot of the palettes that I'm swatching nowadays. But again, directly over the CoverGirl primer that I love to use, I think the look is beautiful on the eyes. We'll go with these next guys. So if you're like, I've said this again before too, if you're somebody who, you want to wear green eyeshadow without like, boom, I'm wearing green eyeshadow, these are the type of, palettes that might be for you, a more conservative kind of color, And then this last green shade, which you would think it was matte, but it does have a little bit of a pearl in it. It's not like super shiny or anything. But that one right there is the Khaki Neutrals from the Dior Backstage line. And that's what I've got on my eyes today. And then the other palette is the 009 Burgundy Neutrals. And I should tell you, there's 0.35 ounces of product in here. And these guys are made in France. I didn't mention that, but the other one is as well. So this is the warmer, like almost like cranberry colors. I'm not going to swatch the primer shade because it's the same as the one that's in all of them. This one here's got 2 mattes, which are these 2 right here. The rest are like pearlized and stuff. And the same thing with this one. This one's a little bit stiff and more like a topper, but it's got more like a little bit more pigment than the white sparkly and the green one. But directly over primer, it looks really pretty. to kind of highlight with. And then these next ones. I just always feel like when I wear these Dior Backstage palettes, I don't have to worry, for me, and how like bright I can get eyeshadow, I don't have to worry about these being too much for what I typically wear, you know, if that makes sense. But that's the Dior Backstage in the burgundy neutrals right there. And then I also got one of the Give by Gwen Stefani Eye See and Sparkle Multi-Dimensional Eye Pigments, and I got the shade Glimmer. So there's 0.19 ounces of product in here, and this is made in the USA. There are 3 shades of this available, and I had to like hold myself back from like getting all 3 because I love like products like this. But I was like, just get one and see how you feel about it first. So that's what I did. This is like a taupey gold color, and it is really pretty. It's got a lot of kind of base pigment to it, which is nice. And then there are very, very fine micro glitters suspended in the formulation. I didn't get a ton of fallout with those when I packed it directly over primer. Nothing super like super unique about the color, but look at how like pretty and shiny it is. I would recommend, because of those super fine micro glitters that are in there, if you really want those to adhere, to use it over something that's tacky, or maybe even like a glitter glue or something like that. I'm really eyeing the pinky like rose goldy one. I don't know, I may or I may not get that. So that's the Glimmer Eye See and Sparkle from Gwen Stefani's range right there. Let's just look at it. It's so shiny. And then lastly from Sephora, I got the Disney Fantasia Storybook from One Size. I swatched this in store and the quality just felt super nice, and I love the packaging. So this guy here, let's see where are you made at? You want to not tell me either. This is made in the USA of US and imported materials is what it says on the packaging. So how cute. This is the box. Eyeshadows 2 times 0.05, 4 times 0.03, and then blushes 4 times 0.12 ounces. And the actual packaging, very, very cute. It's a larger cardboard style packaging, but it's very nice. And then you open it up, and then you got your products. You have a mirror, and then the mirror flips open. You got this little cute little kind of pop-up situation there, and the quality is just really, really nice. The blushes are super pigmented, and they actually function very well as eyeshadows too. And then these two up here, I use them as highlighters. In the formulation, I do like to use it over like a the Anastasia stick highlighter, just so I have something a little bit tacky for it to cling to. The shine is really pretty, but I'm particularly dry on the top of my cheeks, so that just kind of amplifies it a little bit. But they're really pretty. This one's got a duochrome of pink. So these are the highlight shades. One's like white, and then that one has got like the duochrome. Well, that's like a pinky, it's like a pinky blue kind of situation. I used all these products yesterday, I think with the exception of this one. And the look was just so pretty. It was very cohesive and just really pretty together. So there are 2 matte eyeshadows in here, which are these 2. And then I also consider those to be kind of matte eyeshadows too. I used both of them too on the eyes, and they were great. And then the blushes here. These are the shiny ones on the bottom, and then the top 2 are the mattes. But like, such a fun like holiday release from One Size, and the quality is pretty nice as well. So that is the Fantasia One Size Storybook Mickey Face and Eye palette right there. And then I placed an order on the Blend Bunny Cosmetics for 2 of their products. This first one is a new highlighter palette that they came out with. It's the Noctilucent highlighter palette. It's got a cardboard packaging. There are 6 highlighters in here, 0.56 ounces of total product, and this guy is made in China. So I've actually got on the highlighter in Transient, which is this one right here on the top of my cheeks today. And my face has been, again, I think it's part of the sickness and it also getting cold. My face has been really dry, so I did just on the top of my cheeks where I put the highlighter, not the other points. I put it over the Anastasia stick highlighter just to kind of let it grab a little bit better. But these highlighters are beautiful. These like look like white, but they're duochromes. And then this one here has been fun to kind of mix in with the other shades as well. But I really like this. These are so shiny. Like really shiny. If I were to like spritz my face with a setting mist and then go over the top of it with that, I wouldn't need to put down the Anastasia. I'll give you guys some swatches. They're so shiny. I have used them by themselves as well, and they do adhere, but not as intense if I put them over a cream, which is kind of actually you could probably say that about almost any product, to be honest, but they do just look absolutely stunning. So shiny. So I'm really happy that I picked this guy up. I think you can kind of see I've worn it quite a bit since I've gotten it. So that's the Blend Bunny Noctilucent highlighter palette right there. And I do have that Transient shade on my cheeks today for a highlighter. It's like very blinding. And then I also got the All Done Up 20 Shade Ultra Glam palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, which this is their latest eyeshadow launch. There's a total of 0.85 ounces of product, and this guy is made in China. I believe it's the smallest one that they've come out with thus far. And let me tell you, I kind of had to tear myself away from this palette because I have so many other ones that I need to try and use. But this is stunning. Like, the Blend Bunny formula, I got one or two. I got one other eyeshadow palette from them, and they blend. Like, Blend Bunny is a perfect term for the company because their eyeshadows blend so well. But the shimmer shades in here are just that stunning formula that come out of the PRC that I love. And then the mattes, you've got cool, like grungy, peachy green, and like these ones over here, but they're kind of muted that make them look so beautiful. I'm so happy that I picked this up. I think it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm going to swatch them going down because that's kind of how the color stories are. I've used this all over the place though. There's matte highlights, there's shimmer highlights, there's mid-tone blend outs, there's deep crease colors in here. It's just a stunner. I hope they do more in this kind of smaller version where it's like set up like this in terms of the light and deep mid-tone shades and the shinies and whatnot, because it's just great. And then this one. Like, when I went on vacation, I took the Beauty Bay Nikki Tutorials palette. It's just such a good palette. I've actually hit pan on 4 shades in that palette. And when I got this one, I was like, this could be a new traveler for me. Because there's just so many beautiful shades in here. And one and done kind of looks. It's a little bit more tame compared to the Nikki Tutorials palette, but I was just thinking perfect traveler palette with many different options. And then this last row, which is pretty neutral. Just a beautiful formulation. Lovely, lovely palette from Blend Bunny right there. So again, that is there. What is it called? The All Done Up eyeshadow palette right there. So pretty. And then I did get in a couple really lovely PR packages, and this first one is from Wonderksin. They reached out to me and I kind of checked out their website. I was like, oh, that looks kind of like an intriguing product, but I didn't think anything of it. And they sent over the Wonder Blading Dream Brow Gel Serum, and I got the shade Blonde. There's 0.1 fluid ounces of product in here, and they sent it over with this really cute journal as well in the box. And there's a couple other products on their website that I'm kind of interested in, but I kind of got this product and I was like, oh, that doesn't kind of look like something I typically put in my brows. I'm like, just try it anyway. I love this. I've been wearing it almost every single day for 2 weeks, and I do have it in my brows today as well with the NYX. I use taupe in the front portion, and then what's the other one? Ash Brown in the Lift and Snatch NYX. So I go over it with this, and then I use the brow pens, and that's what's in my brows today. And there's something about the way that this makes my brows look and the way that it holds that just to me looks so pretty. They look so nice to me. So I want to get the shade one shade deeper than Blonde to see if I can kind of get away with using less of the NYX product, but I'm gonna have a hard time kind of explaining this. You're supposed to put it over super clean brows, and there's like this whole situation to it. I'm just gonna tell you how I've been doing it. So I do my whole makeup and stuff. I'm not gonna like go and wipe my brows off and do all that jazz, but I do take a brow brush through them to remove like any type of product that might have got in there, powder, eyeshadow, or anything like that before I use it. And then I take the product. It comes like this. It's a very liquidy kind of serum-y gel style product, and I go over the areas where there's hair, right? And then I like, as much time as it probably takes to put on my lipstick, that amount of time I don't touch them after I like brush it on my hair, and so it kind of sets up a little bit. And then I take a little brow spoolie, and then I gently comb it through the brows, and then I use the flat end from the brow lift applicator from Elf and just kind of gently smush them down. And I mean, my brows stay looking like this in shape all day long, and it doesn't look like I have a ton of product in them like some brow gel products, or the Elf brow soap can kind of get a little heavy sometimes too. They just look clean and they stay in place, and they look just, I don't know, they look so pretty to me. So I want to try the next deeper shade down from Blonde, because this does have like a little bit of a greeny factor to it. But when I brush it through and then go over it with the NYX brow pens, I mean, that's what it looks like, and it looks so pretty. Again, I knew I was going to have a hard time trying to explain this kind of product because it's very different to me, but it makes my brows look super nice. I really have been enjoying it. I went back to the Elf brow soap for a couple of days, and I was like, no, I want this instead. So anyway, I've really been loving this. A huge thank you to Wonderksin for sending it over. Again, it's the Wonder Blading Dream Brow Gel Serum. And then Nomad Cosmetics launched a holiday palette. So this is their Santa's Village limited edition color palette. Their packaging is so cute. Their attention to detail is so cute. They're one of my favorite indie brands. So this is the box packaging. You can see the inside. Like, how are you supposed to throw like such a cute packaging away? It does say on the packaging, I believe these are manufactured at Nomad Labs in China, is what it says on the back. And there are 9 shades that are 0.05 ounces per shade. So here's the actual palette. It's a cardboard with a magnetic closure. It kind of looks like it's got the northern lights on there. All of their palettes have like this destination feature to them, and they come with this card. Like you guys have heard me say this before, but their attention to detail is just so lovely. So this is what this one looks like. Right here you can see Santa Claus right there, and there are 4 mattes in this one. Look at the reindeer. There are 4 mattes in this one, which are these 2 and then these 2 right here. And then there are 5 shimmers, which are these 2, and that one. Now I will say the shimmers in this particular one are a little bit more saturated with, I believe, silicone. So sometimes that makes it a little bit more difficult to pick it up on a brush. So you kind of use like a more stiff flat shader and wiggle your brush in there and then pack it directly over like a tacky base, and then you just get that really beautiful sparkle. These ones again to me feel a little bit more saturated with some silicone in them, but they have this beautiful shine to them. So let me swatch the mattes first. This is a one and done for me as well. This shade right here I can use underneath the brow as like a highlight shade, and it works out great like that. Between this palette and then the Odin's Eye palettes that came out for holiday, like, oh, they're fun. Like super, super fun. We're not supposed to be talking about like Christmas, right, just yet, because I'm seeing all the memes where you don't talk about Christmas until after Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm just like whatever about it, but let's swatch these shimmer shades. Again, these are a thicker, little bit, not sticky, but a little bit thicker, creamier type of formulation than some. And again, it just feels like there's more silicones in these particular shadows compared to some of theirs in the past. But that'll also make it go over dry skin really well too, like without a primer. And then this shade right here. I think you can see, you know, from my finger swatching them, that they're glazing over a little bit. That's where that flat shader that's a little bit more stiff comes in terms of breaking that like surface apart and picking up the product. They're just a little bit thick, those ones. But I just absolutely love the color story in here. So that is the Nomad Cosmetics Santa's Village limited edition color palette right there. Huge thank you to Nomad, as always, for sending me over their latest launch. And then BK Beauty sent over their Core Line Extension collection. So they came out with 5 new face brushes and then 4 new eye brushes. And BK Beauty's brushes have become some of my favorite synthetics to use. There's some that I have got multiple of in different brushes because I just, there's something about how soft they are while still having that texture on the end of the bristle that picks up product really, really well and blends it out really well too. So that's something about synthetics. When you get the kind that are just really, really soft all the way to the tip with no like little bit of texture to them, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult to blend and pick up, especially more firm pressed like powder products. They work better on like loose products, but I have been using these nonstop, and some of these shapes are just, I love them. So let's start off with this one, which I need more of because it's like becoming my favorite under eye setting brush, and this is the 113. It looks like a large brush, but you can really like get an even distribution of product. And then when I put it like, because this is where I use to set concealer underneath my eyes, I can pick up the product and it's enough to just go right underneath. Like I use like a pouncing motion, and it sets it without disturbing the concealer underneath, and it's super, super quick and easy to use. This is one of the ones that I want more of. It's got a little bit of a tip to it and it's pinched. Just a stunner. I've been enjoying, this sounds so ridiculous, I've been enjoying setting my under eye concealer every time with this brush because I like it that much. So that's the 113, and then I've been bronzing my face with the 111. So the 111 is called the Dense Bronze, which I've been using it for bronzer, and then the 113 has been called the Small Flat Powder Brush. But it's got a pinch to it too with a little bit of a dome right there, so you can get really in the contour and then push a little bit harder there and get the blend at the same time. So I've been using this and loving it for bronzer. And then it's got the 112, and that is the small angled face brush. I've been using this for blush. It really reminds me of the Sonia G detail brush, which is another one of my favorite blush brushes. So you can see the size comparison is very similar. This is from the Lotus collection right there. If anything, the BK one's got a little bit more of a point right there compared to the Sonia G. And again, BK Beauty brushes are synthetic fiber brushes. So that one is the 112 right there, great for blush. And then we've got the 110 brush, which this works really well with the cream stick highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it also works really great for powder highlighter too. I mean, I do cover a decent amount of the top of my cheeks with highlighter, but it also works if you want to get really into the contours of the cheek too. So they call the 110 the mini contoured foundation brush. I've been using it with powder products and it works great. And then this may be my new favorite cream product, like cream cheek product brush. It works great with highlighter and also cream blush. There's something about the shape of brushes like this that I'm obsessed with. It's kind of a newer shaped brush on the market over the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, where it's flat on the top, but then it's got this contour right there. It pounces on that Anastasia cream highlighter so well on the top of my cheeks. It doesn't disturb the foundation or powder underneath. And then for cream blush, you just pounce it on. It does such a lovely job. This is another one where I kind of wish that I had another one of them. So the 109 is the mini contoured foundation. And then there are 4 eye brushes. You've got the 209, which is the mini shader, which I was really surprised by this one here. I've been using this every single day to put the deeper eyeshadow right in that corner, which is typically what I use the Chikuhoda GSN 9 for. But as my hooded lids drop further and further, it's not, there's like a fold of skin there that sometimes can get a little bit hard to get that precise line on that outer corner that I like. So the GSN has been blowing it out a little bit too much. So when I got this little guy right here, I pack that on in like this angle right here and bring it in just a little bit, and then I go to my GSN 9, and the nice precision that this brush has been giving the way I like to do my eye makeup, another one I'd like a couple of. So that's the 209 mini shader. And then these guys here are kind of blenders and a little smudger. I've actually been using this 210 mini pencil brush. I've got this little blemish right here. It's hard to see because it's kind of going away right now. But I like to use this for pinpoint. I'll do my makeup like normal, and then I like to go in with like a powder foundation. Like today I've been using the Pure pressed powder foundation. So do all my makeup and stuff, and then whatever kind of little redness or anything from a blemish that's poking through, I'll take a little brush like this and just pounce it over the top to really help kind of conceal that, instead of adding like more product to, like, you know, my whole face to kind of conceal that type of stuff. So that's how I've been using the 210, but otherwise it'd be like a little liner smudger style brush. And then you've got 2 really nice blenders. So you've got the 212, which is the medium blender, and then the 211, which is the detail blender. And that's just really good for blowing out, you know, your eyeshadow like pigmentation through the kind of upper crease, for me at least. And again, super soft synthetics. There's so many brushes from this collection. Especially, I love all the brushes from BK Beauty, but there's really particular ones in this release that I just gravitate towards and have really been enjoying using them for how I like to apply my makeup. So just an absolute huge thank you to BK Beauty for sending those over. I love them. And then lastly, I got a lovely PR package from M Cosmetics, and they sent over the 5 soft spoken velvet lip creams, which this is their latest release. So these are made in Korea, and there's 0.16 fluid ounces of product in here. And then I'll just read a couple of the features and benefits that it says on the card here. You've got blurring formula for ultra smooth, soft focus lip color and finish. Pigmented payoff allows seamless coverage with no harsh lip lines. Cruelty-free, vegan, hypoallergenic, and dermatologist tested, formulated without gluten ingredients, parabens, and PFOs, PFAs. So that's what it says on there. So again, these are the soft spoken velvet lip creams. This is what the box packaging looks like on those. I really love M Cosmetics' branding. There's something about it that just feels so, like, I don't know, sophisticated and lovely. And their packaging itself too is very, to me, it feels very like luxurious, if you will. So there's quite a nice weight to these. Like the actual packaging here, it's like a frosted almost frosted plastic. And the formulation, think of like the Kaleidos lip paints or the Fluorasis. I've hauled some of those like matte lip creams. And then there's also the Flower Nose matte lip creams. Think of that type of formulation. This one, it's got a lot of like those blurry silicones in it. These ones here have got a really nice like opaque kind of finish to them with the silicone. So sometimes you'll get some formulas with a lot of that silicone that can be a little bit streaky. I find that these ones go on without the streaking, and then they look initially a little bit shiny, and then when you take your finger, if you were to like give that just bitten lip look or that blurred look, you take your finger and you like pat it over the lips, it goes like kind of matte and diffuses out the color into that blur, like that soft blur. It's very, very cool. So I'll swatch them and then I'll take my finger and blur them out so you can like, hopefully you'll be able to see right on camera what they look, you know, how that looks. So this first one is the Manifest shade right here. The doe foot's quite interesting too. It's like a little kind of petal on there. So this one again is Manifest right there. And then we've got Tender. They are showing up very true in the viewfinder as well. So that one there is Tender. And then we've got the shade Whisper. This is one of my favorite ones. That one's Whisper. And then we have got the shade Petal, another one of my favorites. It's got a little bit of a pink situation going on. That one is Petal right here. And then the last one is the shade Intuition. Yeah, this one is Intuition. So you can see that they have a little bit of a glossy factor when you first put them on like that without like using your fingers to kind of blend out or mushing your lips together or anything like that. And then if you take your finger and then kind of go like this to them, yeah, you can totally see that on camera. They blur out. Like, they're cool. They're very, very cool. And they also feel super comfortable on the lips with like that blurred matte look, but the silicones in there make them feel really comfortable. So yeah, how cool, right? You can just totally see them kind of blurring and matting out after you blend them in like with your finger. You'd get the same effect if you put them on and you mush your lips together back and forth. So when I just swatch them, you can't quite see the undertone as well in differentiation with the other ones until I kind of like blend them out like that. But they're really cool because they do give that blurred, like just bitten soft like matte lip look. So the soft spoken velvet lip cream fits. It's a really cool formula, and I don't have like, you know, the streaks in them either that some like heavily silicone products can give. So super cool new lip products from M Cosmetics, and a huge thank you to them for sending over their latest collection again. Those are their soft spoken lip creams right there. And that is everything that I have from my haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.